Let's take a tour of the old bathroom. Oh, tile, more tile, more tile, more tile. There's an outlet somebody decided to reverse. The wall that the shower and the bathtub spigot is on is going to be shortened to about 3 feet off the ground to open up the room. Therefore, we're going to have to move all that plumbing to the other side. So that added quite a bit of work. Tile all over the ceiling, walls up to the ceiling. So we have to remove all of that. And now we go to the demo portion. I actually have a tip about removing all the debris. What I do is I use Home Depot buckets, line them with a trash bag, 18-gallon trash compactor bag. They're very strong and they're just the right size. They hold about of a tile and sheetrock, 20 to 25 pounds, just right to carry down the stairs. So now we got to address the bathtub situation. That has to be removed also. And as you can see, I started cutting and scoring the bathtub. These tubs weigh about 350 pounds. Never had any luck with the reciprocating saw. I really preferred the grinder with the metal cutoff blade. It's a diamond tip blade, and it works great, especially when you get into the corners. When you get into the corners, the reciprocating saw, of course, is going to be hitting up against anything behind the bathtub, and that causes a problem. All in all, whatever I didn't cut, I scored with the grinder and then used the sledgehammer to crack open. And there you can see I got them into pieces that are more easily carried down 1.5 flight of stairs. So now these are the shark bite fittings caps that I use to temporarily cap off the water pipes. It's very convenient because you can remove them. So it's a lot less trouble than soldering. And there you see a couple of pipes. I just slip them on. Then later you can slip them off. You can't use them too often. So now we're ready to do the drainage. There you see where I inserted a vent as well. I will be doing another video in a future date all about venting and vent pipes. So these drain pipes need to have a pitch, and the recommended pitch is 1/4 of an inch per foot. I have found this level, which is really, really neat, which shows 1/4 inch per foot. You just line up the bubble and you know you have it at the correct slope. That sure beats having to use a tape measure and a long level, especially over an uneven surface like this. I'll provide some links down below for this and also for the trash compactor bags. Now this is a fabulous tool. A self-leveling laser level. No more leveling your laser level, getting the little bubble inside the circle each time you move it or each time you use it. You just need to position it within 4 degrees of level, which is easy to do. If you don't, the line that it projects, it starts flashing. Once you get it within that 4 degrees, then it just projects a continuous line. It's got a pendulum inside that swings around and finds the precise level. It can project a vertical line, horizontal line, or both. You can hang it on the wall, put it on the tripod, or just set it on the floor. For me, it's an essential tool, and it's only about $40. They sell these things I've seen at Home Depot from a couple of hundred to three, four, $600. But for this type of work, this is just perfect. I'll put a link down below for this. So we got everything level and at the appropriate height. Closed it up with a piece of plywood. You notice it has 4 feet. The feet are a little bit different length, front and back. That's for the pitch. There's the drain. And getting ready to put a mud floor down. They want support for these bathtubs. If you don't provide support, they could crack. I put some wood blocks down to give me a guide as to how high my mortar bed is going to be. And also, I put some lines in as to where the bathtub is going to sit. And there's the mortar bed all ready to go. I removed the blocks, set the bathtub in, got the plumbing all in. Since the pipes were coming from the other side, I had to reverse them. So that's why you see all the zigzags there. I used PEX, which was really made a very speedy job. I used this little tool. It costs about $50. It's called a one-hand PEX pinch clamp tool. And you can clamp pipes from 3/8 of an inch to 1 inch. It ratchets, and there's an LED light that turns on when the cinching is complete. It gets into some really tight spaces. I'll provide the link below. By the way, I haven't been paid by anybody or been provided any freebies for any comments such as this throughout this video. Putting up the little wall between the toilet and the bathtub, that first 2x4 there is very important. I want to make sure that was really bolted in to the joist in case anybody bumps against that thing. I wanted to make sure it didn't budge at all. Installed the exhaust fan, had a roofer put in the vent through the roof, and all the electric. There's the switch for the light, and there's an outlet next to the toilet. And I know you don't need an outlet to run a toilet, but you do for a bidet. And one switch for the fan, one switch for the lights over the vanity, 2 boxes for one light on each side of the mirror, medicine cabinet, and another outlet, and put metal protectors to make sure that nobody shoots a nail or a screw into the electric wire. Connected the vent with some insulated ductwork, got it all taped up and secure. Fiberglass insulation, the outside walls and on the ceiling. Up goes the cement board and the green sheetrock, water resistant sheetrock. And the way I did this is the cement board around the bathtub goes right up to the lip on the bathtub. Not over it, but right up to it. Then I'll be using a membrane paint painted on waterproof membrane, and that together with the fiberglass tape, waterproofing tape, would go over the lip. So you'll have the sheetrock up to the lip, and then the waterproofing tape, etc., over the lip. Then the tile, of course, goes over the lip, and then I left the 1/8 inch between the tile and the bathtub for expansion purposes. So I used a grinder with a diamond blade that cuts concrete to cut the cement board. But the only way to do that is outside because it creates a lot of dust. But I prefer that a million times over trying to use a utility knife. And then to screw it onto the wall, I use the serrated screws, and I'll have links down below for everything. The serrated screws are great because with very little effort, the screw digs right into the cement board and puts the head completely level with the cement board. Very little effort. So here's a good tip for embedding the tape for the sheetrock, and that is to add a little bit of water to your joint compound when you're embedding the tape. It makes a big difference in eliminating bubbles and wrinkles in the tape, and it makes embedding the tape a whole lot easier. And also, for the final coat, water down the joint compound and you get a nice fine final coat. And for me, using that process eliminated a lot of sanding where I wound up doing very little sanding. So the cement board has been all taped up. The next step is to apply the waterproofing. I used Home Depot's brand, Red Guard. Lowe's has its own brand as well. So I used the Red Guard together with the waterproofing fabric. That I could not find at Home Depot, so I ordered that from Amazon. The Red Guard gets painted on. You could use a roller or a brush. I prefer the brush. So you apply the Red Guard first to the wall, and then the fabric, and then again the Red Guard on top of the fabric, and then the whole process. All the walls are supposed to have at least 2 coats, and then you're supposed to have yourself a waterproof area good for 80 years. So I went all the way up to the ceiling. A lot of people say it's not necessary. You can go maybe shoulder height and then, not do the rest. But I figure since I was at it, the next step is application of the tile. And I actually did a little research on this. So I read the bag. So the bag says for basic floor and wall tile installation. And it says you can use it for ceramic or porcelain tile, less than 15 inches. And it says you could use it on backer board. But wait a minute. I also applied Red Guard to the backer board. I wonder if I can use multi-set on the Red Guard. Now, would Home Depot be selling multi-set and Red Guard if you couldn't use the multi-set on the Red Guard? I don't know. But who wants to take the chance? The bag didn't mention anything, but it did have a reference to a technical data sheet and a website. So I took the extra step and went to the website, and surprisingly, it was easy to find, and the technical bulletin specifically said that you could use it on Red Guard. So I'm good to go. I used 1/16 inch spacers on the wall tile and 1/8 inch spacers on the floor. And I did leave, like I said, 1/8 of an inch between the tile and the tub. So the next step after this is finishing the floor. I decided to install the new tile over the old floor tile. The thin-set bag says it could be used over existing ceramic tile, but the technical bulletin says it needs to be scarified. I wanted to avoid having to sand down the existing tile to rough up the surface. That would require special tools, diamond blades, I suppose, and be really messy and time-consuming. But I found a solution. MBP, Multi-Surface Bonding Primer, around $40 at Home Depot. And what's great is that the technical bulletin said it was okay to use too. It goes on like paint, dries fast, and the surface felt like a rough sandpaper when it dried. I'll leave a link down below for this as well. Installing the trim. The cabinet is in. Nice fit. And the tiles are grouted. Silicone around the bathtub. I've got to say that taping off the wall and the bathtub before caulking is really the best way to get as close as possible of a perfect line. Of course, I already took off the wall tape, and using one of these smoothing tools gets the profile on the bead just right. Just finished the caulking and now filling the bathtub with water. Let it sit overnight while the silicone cures. Countertop and the cap for the wall is in so that the plumbing could be installed. Framed in a little area for the cabinet to go in. On the other side is an attic, so the cabinet's going to stick out on the other side. Nice fit. Installed the trim around the cabinet. And baseboard. The project is complete. We'll finish off with a tour like we started. It was a lot of work, but I had fun doing it. I actually like this shit. And nothing beats the satisfaction of seeing the job complete and knowing that hidden under all that new glitter and shine is rock solid, properly done work. You know, good stuff. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please hit like. Stay safe, everybody, and have a good one.